Whether you're brand new in your business or you've been doing it for a while, you might feel that there is a pressure to always be on, always be selling. It makes sense, right? That's the messaging that we've been told time and time again, and it's literally everywhere in the online space. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with this if that works for you and feels really good and energizing. I am not here to criticize the way that anyone does business, but if you feel like this is a lot, like it is overwhelming to always be on, always be selling, and always in launch mode, I have a different idea that I want to share with you today. What if you could set your business up in a way that feels sustainable to you, that works with your energy, not against it, and actually moves within the ebbs and flows of your personal season? Some people might think that, oh my gosh, how can I possibly make money doing this? But it's not only possible, it just kind of makes sense to me that we move within certain seasons. So I want to share with you today my idea of the seasons of visibility. This is something that I came up with when I was putting together the content ecosystem, because for me as an introvert, as a highly sensitive person, as a projector in the human design, my energy is just not designed to be on, going, launching, all systems go all of the time. I know that I don't want to, and I don't thrive on being on all the time by constant output and by just always being in launch mode. And even though in our business there are still daily and weekly tasks, even monthly tasks that we need to get done, being in that visible space all of the time in launch mode can be just too much. So I came up with the seasons of visibility because it felt like an approach to showing up, being seen, being behind the scenes, reviewing, evolving, resting in a way that ebbs and flows with my energy. And I wanted to share some thoughts with you in case that's how your energy works best too. I'd love to hear if this is a concept you have or haven't heard before and what you think about it, but let's dive into what I'm talking about when I talk about the seasons of visibility. In spring, this is when we're in prep mode. We are planting the seeds for an offering or a launch that we're wanting to put out into the world. This will be a time for planning, not just your launch, but your content, all of the things that are going to be going on over the next few months in the lead up to your launch. It might be the time that you are in creation mode, creating content, and just really putting some of those key pieces in place so that you have a plan to move forward with. This also might be the time that you're starting to pop out a little bit in your community, and that's going to look different depending on your own strategy, your own business energy, and your capacity, the way that you build, participate, contribute, and support your community in a weekly or day-to-day basis. So this can look like brainstorming ideas, planning out dates, starting to plug in the kinds of content you want to be creating and sharing, what that lead up to your launch is going to be, your launch activity, all of the pieces around the next month, 3 months, or 6 months of your business, however you like to do your planning. It might be a time that you start reaching out to people to collaborate, to write guest posts, to be on podcasts for guest opportunities. It might be a time that you're just cultivating and connecting with your people in a more one-on-one way. It's a great time to be planning, thinking, creating, and just really tending to the garden. The spring phase is obviously up to you how long it lasts. It can be something that you kind of ebb and flow with throughout the month. It might be a specific time within your quarter or your year that you are just in deep creation immersion mode. It's really up to you. This takes us to the summer phase, which I really think of as that launching kind of mode. It's your big connecting mode. It's your big engaging and calling people in, making invitations, building that energy and momentum towards inviting people to take part in whatever your offer is. This might look different for you if you have only evergreen offers, and so you still want to build that energy around your offer so that you're always making invitations to invite people in. But this is really the season to be getting super visible in your business. It is going to be that your content is up and out in whatever way that looks like for you. It might be a time that you have more guest posts and podcast appearances, or you're creating and sharing some new work, you're doing lives, you're doing collaborations, whatever that looks like for you. It's kind of, we're ramping it up a little bit in the lead up to making that invitation. Again, this is going to be completely dependent on what your business looks like, what your energy and your capacity is, and how long that period goes for, how often it happens throughout your year. For some people, I know they're launching something or promoting something every week, and so their phases might track differently to the way yours and mine do. There's no right or wrong way about this. It's so much about the kind of energy that you're working with. In the summer phase, this really is the peak of visibility. So you might find that during the autumn and spring phases, you are setting up a lot of things to be ready for this time frame to just be you're everywhere, you're doing lots of things. If you're working in any kind of launch mode, that is what the summer phase is. It is that big visibility. It is building that energy and momentum around your new offering, calling people in, maybe creating launch activities or ways that people can engage with you and experience what it might be like to work with you in the way that you're going to be sharing with them very soon. For a lot of people, this launch time is really big energy. It can be quite exhausting. It can be a lot of late nights or long hours. And yes, that sometimes is the case. Sometimes we do need to put that extra oomph of energy in throughout the year or throughout our cycles. But also there are other ways to do this, and I'm going to be talking about this more over the coming weeks. So please make sure you subscribe so that you can stay tuned to hear more about this. This might be the time that you have a cart open, a wait list, a launch activity, emails going out that are maybe more frequent than you would normally do. You might be doing some lives or some group appearances in a Facebook community that you've set up or in a way that you don't do throughout the rest of the year. And then once that cart closes, that launch is over, whatever that looks like for you, then we're starting to move into the autumn phase. This is an amazing time while it's still fresh in your mind to be thinking about the things that went really well, to be reviewing, evaluating, checking in. How are you feeling? What did you love doing throughout that summer phase that you definitely want to make sure you do again next time? What content did you create that really seemed to connect with the right people that you can repurpose and reuse for the next launch? What didn't go so well? What felt really maybe exhausting or clunky that you want to either review and look at how you can evolve that for next time, or that you just want to never do again? I know I've definitely had launches where I'm just like, nope, I'm never doing that again in my launch. This is so much about working with your own energy and cycles, but also feeling into what works really well for you, what you love doing, what your audience and your people respond to. You know, this autumn phase is a great time to just check in with that, get feedback from the people who did join and ask them what it was that really got them excited to be part of this program. Check in with the people who might have been really engaged during your launch period and didn't end up signing up, because you can get so much incredible feedback that you can think about for next time. The autumn phase is also the delivery of your offer, whether that is a course, a program, or even a one-on-one coaching experience done for you, package, whatever it might be. But the autumn phase is really that time that we're digging in and getting that work done. We're showing up, we're creating that community, we're doing the calls or the work that the people have signed up to be a part of. So we're reviewing and evaluating what went really well. We're collecting information and taking notes, really spending even a day just going over everything and feeling into how you feel and what went well and all of the different pieces that you want to keep for next time and maybe re-look at or try something new for your next launch. It's the best time to be following up with people, checking in with where they're at, why they did or didn't join your offer or program, what more they would have liked to have seen from you, if they have any further questions. And oftentimes people are like, oh, I was going to sign up, but I absolutely forgot about it or was busy that day and didn't get a chance. There is a window of time that you might have to follow up, check in with people who you were certain were going to join the program, get some feedback, or even have a conversation with them that ultimately helps them to decide that, oh yes, this is absolutely what I wanted to do. We so often forget to do that, and I know as more introverted people, it's not necessarily natural for us to want to check in with people like this. But at the end of the day, when we let go of attachment to the outcome and we genuinely just want to be helpful and supportive to people, whether they joined our program or not, this is a really great way to cultivate that relationship. It might not be for them this time around, but maybe next time they're ready to go and they remember the experience they had with you, where they didn't feel pressured to join, but you did check in with them and continue to build that relationship, whether they paid you or not. The thing about also taking a review or taking stock of your launch immediately after it's happened is that you have it fresh in your mind and you're not trying to remember 6 months or a year later when your launch is happening again, oh, what worked really well? Where is all that stuff? What happened to all that content I created? And feeling like you have to start from scratch. The best thing about this is that the online world moves so fast that you can literally repost, reschedule, reshare that content in the lead up to your next launch, especially the stuff that did really well. This is such a time and energy saver as you progress and evolve through your business. That means you're not always creating every single thing from scratch, and it helps so much so that you can focus on the things that you really need to do, which is show up, make those invitations, share your work with the people who really need it, and have those one-on-one conversations. And then that brings us to the winter phase, which again is going to look so different for all of us. It's also going to be dependent on how long it is between launches for you or how it is that your business is set up. But this might be a time of deep rest for you. It might be a time that you take a massive step back and maybe aren't posting as regularly as you were during your summer phase. It might be a time that, even a brief time, that you step back from all content creation and take a real break for yourself. It might be a time that you go away or give yourself a holiday. But it's also possibly the time that you're really delivering your program or your offer. It's going to look different for everyone, but it is really just that in your summer phase, you are probably putting out a lot more, showing up a lot more, doing a lot more, even if you've set that up earlier in the season. And so whilst you might be the least visible during this phase, you might be starting to plot out and plan the coming months ahead. Because I know I've definitely done this, and I see it happen all of the time, that we get into that space where we have done the launch and we're in delivery mode, and then that program ends and it feels like a rush to be getting back up again. And so that winter and spring phase might start to kind of mix and merge together as you're starting to plan and think about what comes next. Most likely, I know it definitely is for me, it isn't going to be as cut and dry as working within those seasons. It is going to ebb and flow depending on your energy, depending on your business, and all of the other things going on in your life. But I would love to know, is this something that you actively already do? I know a lot of people have been starting to work more with the seasons in a general way over the last few years, and I would love to know if the seasons of visibility is something that resonates and connects with you. As my business has changed and evolved and my offerings have shifted as well, this is something that has just started to feel so much more in alignment with my energy and the way that I work best. There are so many different kinds of launch types and launch strategies out there. Everyone has different businesses and their own unique kind of energy. That means that we can all show up in different ways, and we have different strengths and skills behind us as well. So I want to really emphasize that. But I do know that when it comes to thinking about our launch, even the thought of it can feel overwhelming and can be super out of our comfort zones. It might be something that we've never actually even probably done before, and that is absolutely okay. This is so much, just like everything I talk about finding the way that feels right for you. And if you'd like to dive a little bit more into this idea of the seasons of visibility, I am going to be holding a free masterclass on the 28th of April called The Art of Gentle Launching, where I'm going to share how you can move through these cycles and especially focus on that spring-summer phase so that you can launch and put your work out into the world in a way that feels really good for you without all of that stress, burnout, overwhelm, late nights, early mornings, and what we come to associate with what a launch looks like. I'll pop all the details below so that you can reserve your spot for that, and I would love to hear if you have any other questions about this so that I can make sure I answer them during the training. You might be interested in checking out the introvert friendly business playlist that I've created, where I share all of my information about how to start really bringing your energy, your introverted nature into your business strategy instead of ignoring it and trying to be something that you're not. If you're interested in that, make sure you check that out. And if you know anyone who you think would really love this video or to come along to the training, please make sure that you share it with them. And I'll catch you in the next one.